You are now entering Nyghtstorm Nation.
All I have to say is this.
Child abuse.
If you are one of those people
Divorce.
that have been put down all of your life,
Infidelity.
beat up and trapped in a pit of woe,
Depression.
it is time for you to stand up with the Nyghtstorm Nation, because we aren't going anywhere.
I'm NYGHTSTORM, the man not afraid to be transparent, as I help real people with real issues. And my co-host is my queen, my stunningly gorgeous wife and powerful business partner. Ooh!
Oh my goodness. Hello, Atlanta and the world. This is Toby George Nyghtstorm, the woman not afraid to tell the truth about things as they really are. And this is Nyghtstorm Radio, radio going real because we are you.
Now, Nyghtstorm Nation, if you're in the ATL, feel free to call in at 443-558-8699. And to all the Nyghtstorm Nation members around the country, call in at 1-866-923-2860. And you can find out more about us, the Nyghtstorms, at nyghtstorm.com. That's NYGHTSTORM.com. You can also listen to our show live from the Talk Radio page on nyghtstorm.com. Also on love860.com and right here on Love 860 AM, baby.
That's right. Oh, you're so good. You have gotten this down packed over this time that we've been here. You don't even have to think anymore. You can do it in your sleep. And you know another thing that people should be doing in their sleep? They should be pulling out those smartphones. All these, Galaxies and iPhones and Androids and all these things.
The notes
and they
and
need to
everything,
go into their app store and downloading iHeartRadio, Tunein Radio, iRadionow. And go into the talk radio section. Looking for WAEC Love 860 AM so they can hear us no matter where they are from 11 to noon, in the doctor's office, in the dentist's chair, wherever they are, in traffic. They can turn on their phones and let us get through their day for that hour.
Yeah, they can listen to the Nyghtstorms in traffic because, we had to
It's not like they're going anywhere. I'm just saying.
And Nyghtstorm Nation, if you're in Atlanta, New York, or Los Angeles, you understand what traffic is all about. So it's plenty of times, instead of flipping the bird to this person who done cut you off, instead of wearing on your horn to this jerk who done cut you off, you can listen to the Nyghtstorms and chill on out and let these idiots go on their way.
Exactly. Or if you just so happen to be in a nice, calm, quiet area where you can get to a computer, or if you have the ability to get on a computer on your phone, that's another lovely thing you can do on your phone. You can go to love860.com, click the Watch Now menu part of it, and see us right here. Hi.
Hello.
In the studio.
Yep.
Right in your face. So, you're just winning all the way around.
All the way around.
Thursdays are a great day for you.
It's like they winning like Charlie Sheen. Remember how Charlie Sheen was winning a few years ago?
Yes.
He was just winning, and he had the goddesses around him, and he had just gotten kicked off for $2.5 million, and he was still doing his thing on his FX show. And he said, something, if losing is this good, then I want to keep on losing because I am winning. And you are winning with the Nyghtstorms. But we got a lot going on in the world today. So what we got on top for today, baby?
Well, we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of being your own boss. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, buddy.
When we tell you we are you and we can relate to the topics that we bring to you each and every week, let me tell you, the pros and the cons of being your own boss and what it takes to finally achieve success.
Woo.
I can't wait for our guest to come on. Let me just say that. Because, oh, my goodness, I tell you, some days when you be like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Why am I doing it?
Yes.
I can't wait for this day to be over.
Well, you're not the only one, and we both have thought that way plenty of times throughout our business careers on starting businesses and making them work, literally making them work.
Yeah.
But in our
trying
segment,
to put a square peg in a round hole, you
man,
have to just keep hitting
gotta
it.
get banging in and hitting it, and something got to give. God doggone it. But we aren't the only ones who have had these issues. But in our section called "How Can I Change My Mate" of this week, And how can I change my way? We get 2 letters, one from a husband, one from a wife, and they are talking about the business of today, which is actually starting your own business and how it's going to affect the family. So, sweetheart, can I begin with the wife's letter?
You go right
because
ahead,
it's deep. Okay. Now, it says, Dear Nyghtstorms, I am so sick of my life in 2015.
Okay.
You guys are always talking about being entrepreneurs, and we see you making moves in Atlanta. But my husband is not ambitious. He's always talking about wanting to take me on trips around the world. But how are we ever going to do those things working for pennies and making other people rich? I want to elevate my lifestyle, and I'm willing to do it on my own if I have to. I will make it without him if need be. Woo! All right. That's from the wife.
All right, and the husband says, Dear Nyghtstorms, my wife does not understand the enormous sacrifice it takes to strike out on your own and be your own boss. It has taken us years to build up our nest egg, and I don't want to lose it on a small business with a possible high rate of failure. Putting our kids through college is a strain, and liquidating the rest of our savings on her crazy ideas is ludicrous. I love her and all, but my wife spends money like no tomorrow, and I'm looking out for our best interests, even if she disagrees. I'm standing my ground, and if she leaves me, well, so be it.
Wow. Okay.
We need some communication
Yeah.
without emotion,
All right,
first and foremost.
Yeah, and first and foremost, your marriage should not be on the line with this, okay? Because the Queen and I have gone through this and gone through this and gone through this. And I will say this first. This is not worth losing your marriage. I mean, obviously, you guys been with each other for years. You got 2 kids in college now that you're putting through. And it would be a travesty upon both of your parts to make this issue a deal breaker to destroy your union. Okay? So obviously there needs to be some communication. And we're going to help you out with this because we have started businesses and it was
Invested
tough.
a lot of money.
Invested a ton of money. And sometimes it was in areas that we had no experience in. Okay, we just saw a wonderful business opportunity and we felt that we should go ahead and do it. We had the money to make the move. And sometimes you have to slow down. And I agree with the husband on this point because money is hard to come by.
It is.
And it's scary when you put in your nest egg. You guys don't work 20, 25 years to build up something. And now your significant other says, well, honey, I want to do this. And it's going to cost $50,000. And that might be all that you got left.
But, and sometimes you don't even know the number until at the end when you look back and see how much you put in. Sometimes you just go, oh, my God, this is a great idea. And I know that it will just fly. And you start with 1,000 here. Yeah. 2,000 there. Yeah. 3,000 here. Yeah. And then next thing you know, it's the end of the year and you're sitting with your accountant and you go, oh, well, that was $35,000 over there. You're like, what?
Ouch. Okay.
Oh, my God. And it didn't even go through.
Yeah, but the thing is, yes, there is a high rate of failure with business. Just like with anything else when you're striking out on your own.
And you're not going to always make the right decisions at the right times. So I understand. And a man being a man and being the provider and being the one that everyone looks to for security, I understand also the fact that he wants to make sure everything is, taken care of. Because in the end, if it doesn't work out, it's like he's going to feel like the failure. Yeah. Or if everything does work out, he's going to be the one that, yeah, I did that. So either way, he's going to be accountable. That's the thing that I think we need to understand here, coming from the man's point of view. In the end, God makes him accountable. Yeah. The wife makes him accountable. Yeah. And the world, really, because everybody going to be looking at him as the leader.
Yeah, because this brother knows, okay, look, my wife came up with this great idea. And if we do this and it fails, it's my fault. Period. And even
because
if
you the man,
it's
making
your
the
fault.
decisions,
And when it's successful, and the crazy thing is when it's successful, it's because of the wife. It was her creativity and because of her know-how. But we want to break this down to you guys. Yes, there are plenty of reasons why you shouldn't go into business. And we're going to break down reasons why you shouldn't do it, but we're going to also break down reasons why you should. Now, reason number one on why you shouldn't, because just like the husband said, it's risky. Because in this economy, and it doesn't matter who is in the White House, whether it's Obama, whether it's Bush, whether it's Reagan, or whether it was Truman, the economy goes up and down. There is never a perfect time to do anything. Anytime you are setting out to do anything that's risky, it is a risk. Business is a risk. Entrepreneurship is a risk, with high risk, also with high rewards. 2, you just may lose your nest egg. It can happen. It has happened to many of people. Yes, it does. It is ugly, it is brutal, and it does bring the end of relationships. Unfortunately, yes, these things happen. But this is the but. If you don't try, you never know. And we're going to break down reasons why you should do it. And this is based off of completely on what we did and how we formulated in our minds, because we saw our lives going one way. We got these 7 children. We're going to be able to afford college. And as far as us being Generation X, our Social Security is being eaten up by baby boomers. We're not going to have it. So in our golden years, we're not going to have a government parachute to save us. We're going to have to do something now to prepare ourselves for the future. So this is business decision number 1 on why we went forth, and maybe you can go forth on your business. 1, sweetheart, the tax benefits. Okay? You can write off a lot of your expenses with tax benefits. We're talking about food, we're talking about travel, we're talking about utilities. Because if your business is the hub, if your home is the hub, if your home office is the hub of your business, guess what? That counts. And the government don't mind saying, okay, you're writing this off for taxes, because every time you get in that car and you go into a business meeting to grow your business, that is a business trip. When you are going somewhere to meet somebody for lunch, talking about the strategies of your business meeting, guess what? Starbucks can count, okay? Now, number 2, a legacy that you can pass on to your children, okay? Now, a lot of folks who become doctors and lawyers, they have wonderful, wonderful careers, but they cannot pass on those skills or those profits to their children because it is just them. But when you develop a business and you done busted your hump to make it successful, it will survive you. And it'll be something for your kids. You got something to say about that, sweetheart?
Well, the one thing I want to do is put a sidebar on this. It's not real till it's real.
Yeah.
Please, 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 and we know this from experience. Like I said, we've made plenty of mistakes.
Plenty.
I know there are a lot of business ideas out there that look good, sound good, have no way to fail, and it's just the golden road to Oz. However, please plan. Please know every little in and out. Think of stuff that you wouldn't think of, because it's hard once you're in the midst of it to recoup and backtrack and replan. Think of the what ifs. All right, I'm going to go in here. It's set up pretty, and there's no way it could fail. But what if? What if people walk out? What if people decide they want to steal? What if this and what if that? Think of the worst case scenario and plan for it. Because a lot of times it can happen. The impossible, what you felt like would never happen, you find yourself sitting in the middle of the muck. So if it's something that you know is a possibility that can make some money for you, great. But what happens if? What do you have to fall back on? What money do you have coming in? Your money is your fuel for your business and your profitability and your sustainability. How long can you survive? If everything just fell out the bottom, what is your personal finances looking like? How good is your ability to get a loan? How many credit cards do you have that you can possibly max out? Think of it from every angle, top, bottom, side to side, just like when we're in church and God is beneath you and he's above you and he's beside you and he's closer to you than any sister or brother. You need to think of every angle. If this goes left, if it goes right, what happens next, what happens next, what happens next, and put it out on paper. Get you a board like the kids do when they have a project and put, what if this happens? What if that happens? What's our plan if A happens? What's our plan if B happens? Everybody wants it to go perfect. Everything just sails smoothly, but you can't control other people. You can't control what other people are going to do. You may walk into a situation where everything looks beautiful, but somebody set up something before you even got there that caused fallout, and now you're having to deal with it. So just take your time and plan. And I know you're excited and you want to move forward quickly. And in most cases, you want to move, but you need to move slow. And then you have to change gears and make changes. Don't make promises to anybody. When you walk in, say, we're going to see how this is going, and we'll see, we may have to make changes or not. But let everyone know that this is going to be something that we're all working through at this time.
Excellent. Excellent. Now, that's the soul searching behind going into business. Everything that the Queen just said, because guess what? We went through that. It is real. That's the trenches that you're going to have to go through when you're starting something new. But I want to also tell you, another reason on why you should do it. Not just because of the tax benefits and the legacy that you build, but when you make it. When you get to that other side, the financial freedom, you have a benchmark. You have a roadmap of where you're going to be 20 years from now in your golden years, as opposed to just working and working and working, somebody else getting rich, and then you might can get fired, especially if you're in a work-for-hire state. They can fire you for any particular reason. When you own your own business, you're your own boss. You can't fire yourself.
Yeah, but it's like owning a house. You are never responsible if the pipe busts.
Yeah. But
so we're getting ready to go to break.
But they can do it. And the biggest freedom that we have gotten from owning our own business is the freedom of time. So we can do the things that we need to do. But yes, the responsibility is there, and we can't answer all this stuff in just one segment. But we're going to be back with a very good friend of ours who is an expert on helping people get over the hump and figure out ways to build their businesses through relationships and sales. So you're listening to Nyghtstorm Radio on Love 860 WAEC, and we will be back to help you fulfill your dream of business ownership in the next segment. You ever been so depressed to where you want to hurt yourself because life has been unkind, unfair, and unforgivable? Folks done hurt you and thrown you away. Yeah, I know, because I was there too, until I read this book by NYGHTSTORM called All Action No Talk. This dude has been there, man. He understands us. He was homeless, abused as a child, abandoned by his dad, and even his oldest son passed away. I'm encouraged because if this dude can make it, so can I, and so can you. So check it out at Nyghtstorm.com, NYGHTSTORM, and know that you have the strength to change your life despite adversity, like him, like me, like you.
Hey, you, guy or gal that's listening, are you enjoying the night storms? Good! If you want the 411 on me, YG Nightstorm,
and me, Toby George Nightstorm, a.k.a. Lady Nightstorm, visit Nyghtstorm.com. That's NYGHTSTORM.com. Check out our informative blogs, videos, and see what Nightstorm Nation is doing to benefit the community. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook.
Thanks again for listening to the Night Storms on Nyghtstorm Radio every Thursday at 11 a.m. to noon on Love 860 a.m. Atlanta's inspirational station. We are you.
Hi everyone, it's me, Lady Nightstorm, and have I got news for you. Want to know how to keep up with us and what we're doing in the community? It's easy. Just like us on Facebook at Nightstorm Radio. Follow us on Twitter at Nightstorm Radio and become part of the Nightstorm Nation mailing list at nightstorm.com. That's NYGHTSTORM. Keep up with all our promotions, contests, and latest happenings. Nightstorm Radio. We are you.
You are now rocking with the Night Storms on Atlanta's inspirational station, Love 860 AM WAEC. Now back to the show.
Welcome back to Nightstorm Radio.
Yeah.
Our topic today are the pros and cons of being your own boss and what it takes to finally achieve success. If you would like to call in and be a part of the conversation, 404-355-8699 in the ATL and 866-923-2860 anywhere else in the world. You can also hit us up on Twitter at Nightstorm Radio. Now, before we went to break, YG, you were talking about the benefits. You were kind of like taking the wife's side in the letter.
Yeah.
And coming from where she's coming from, we need to do this. We need to do this. And the reasons why and the benefits of it.
Yeah.
And I was kind of leaning toward the husband a little bit with, you know, let's put the brakes on this. Let's think about this for a minute. But, you know, it's two sides to every story. So why don't you give us a little bit more of that wife side of it?
Yeah, and the crazy part about it is, you know, in this particular Nightstorm letter, the Queen eloquently broke down the husband's reasoning right now. But in our own life, I was actually the husband, and Toby was the wife. Said, "Baby, we need to do this." I'm like, "Hold on, baby, hold on." But I understand why, because I was him. Okay, and now I'm on the other side, even though we're still dealing with challenges in some of our businesses. But I am so happy we're on this side of it and that we decided to move forward.
Now tell me why.
And I'm gonna tell you why we decided to move forward. And a lot of this stuff came from you. For one, like I said, the tax benefits for one, being able to leave something to your kids for two, the freedom of time for three, but to actually have a roadmap, to actually know and be able to project financially where you can be in the next 5 years. Now, this is something that we could not do when we were just working for other people, especially with all the things we had going on and the needs that we had, the real needs of the household, 7 children, folk going to college, people getting married. Okay, we haven't had any grandchildren yet, but it's coming. It's coming. Extra expenses that are coming. Somebody got to play football. Somebody's in the drama club. These things cost money, okay? And it was money that we did not have when we was working through traditional jobs, okay? We can't force our employer to say, "Look here, I got extra expenses coming. You need to give me a raise." Ha! YG. Really? Well, Obama need to give me $1 million grant. How about that? But it ain't going to happen. So what make you think I'm going to give it to you? I had no power because I was working for somebody else. So I chose to use, and we chose to use our intellect and our ability and, quite frankly, our hungriness, because we was hungry. We are going to make this work.
Yes.
We have crisis situations coming. And we have to make this work, and we got to make it work right now, because looking at the traditional employment, we cannot make it happen there. There's no way, ifs, ands, or buts about it, and we will be old, and we can't work, and we would be destitute. We will go broke going this way. So it was extreme. Now, everybody's situation isn't extreme, but obviously the wife is saying, "I would like for you to take me to these places. We need to have some kind of plan to get financial independence. You can't do it working for other people. We have to go in business ourselves. Honey, let's go." And the only way you're ever going to know if you ever was going to make it is to try. You know, yes, it's a risk. Maybe don't risk all that money. Maybe start slow, like you said. But you're never going to know unless you try. And I didn't want to be on my deathbed saying, I wish I would have tried. Mm-hmm. I wish I did. So that's that. But it's fortunate that we have other experts that can help folk with this. And you know something, in my famous British accent, I'm going to welcome her in. So you love my accent. Jared in the booth loves my accent. So Jared, if you can run that introduction music so I can introduce her properly. Come on. Ha ha ha. Yes. Nyghtstorm Nation, our distinguished guest is here. Take it away, my queen. Go.
With the slogan, coach and train introverted business owners to simplify their sales process, this powerful woman of ambition is a serial entrepreneur, business and sales coach who is a successful, self-proclaimed introvert.
She is known exactly how to teach people to leverage and take advantage of the power of being an introvert business owner and has coached inverted professionals in Canada, USA, Europe, and the Caribbean. So she's worldwide. So ladies and gentlemen, please help us welcome to Nyghtstorm Radio, the one, the only, the incredible Johanna Roach. Yeah!
Welcome, Johanna.
Good morning, everyone.
Welcome to Nyghtstorm Radio. We're so glad to have you here.
I'm really excited to be on your show. You have a fabulous show. Really good, valuable information.
Okay, good. All right, now, have you heard about the husband and the wife, ma'am? Have you been listening to what's been going on in the debate in that household?
I hear it because I also am partner with my husband in our business, but we have two sides of the business. It's not on the same product line, but I hear it. It's an interesting debate.
Okay, so from your unique perspective, because we're going to get into exactly what you do, but just from a very real place, as a spouse who has gone into business as an entrepreneur, and you got your sweetie pie right there, you know, talk about some of the challenges that you guys had in the beginning, but ultimately what made you guys solidify on moving forward with your business plans.
So I think the biggest thing that we had challenged was ego. Each one of us had their own sort of thought about whose title was going to be who, which was an interesting dynamic. And also we are incorporated, so who was going to be the chief CEO and who was going to be the president was kind of a bit of an interesting thing. And also the other thing we argued a lot about is the division of tasks. Who would be in charge of different areas within the business, because we both have similar likes that we really love to do. And also the other challenge was the stuffy we hate doing. And also the other final thing, I think that anybody in business is how to allocate your funds and to spread it the right way to make sure that you have the right financial success. So that took some time to iron out the fire. And I think once we decided to put our egos in the second drawer of the kitchen, things started to move along a lot better. And we also, as a result of, we've been in business together for 13 years, truly trying to, instead of kind of butting heads a little bit about it, is focusing on each one of our strengths and developing product lines that were in the particular area of strengths. My husband is a security specialist, so totally different than what I do. So we sort of moved off that way. So I support him completely on what his area of focus of our business is, and he does it on my side as well. So, but I tell you, it took a lot of discussion from my sweetie pie, and sometimes I want to throw my sweetie pie out the second-story window.
What? Wait a minute. Hold on, Joanna. No, sweetheart. I have never, ever had any kind of thoughts of tossing you out the window when we was disagreeing on business.
His inclination was to the moon, so at least he was going upward. But the thing about it is, and it's interesting to me that with this particular letter that my husband is taking the standpoint of the wife and is saying, okay, yeah, let's do it. And I'm taking the standpoint more or less of the husband saying, hindsight 2020. And I believe in what I was saying. I was more saying, know what you're getting into. I wasn't saying don't do it. I was saying don't get into the middle of it and then think about these things that you should have thought about before you decided to venture off once you're in the middle of it, because that takes time. You know, it's like repeating a grade. But what exactly is a sales coach, Johanna, and what are the benefits of having one? Because
it sounds like this couple really needs your expertise right now on a sales coach to kind of help them get through this rift that they're dealing with.
So what a sales coach is basically this. I go and I help people look, first of all, about your numbers, because if you don't have any sales, you have no business. You have a dream. So I look at their what their sales are like, and I look at how are they actually. A client is looking at how they approach sales, and looking at how I can engage them with their conversations to improve their sales process. Instead of going, I have the best widget at $99, buy it. Explaining to them and finding out who exactly is interested in your product, why they would want it, and helping them with each part of that sales conversation and helping with their sales presentations. So that's kind of where the benefit is. And I also, working with a sales coach, you can get over those difficult conversations. For example, some people hate the process of sales. Just the idea of picking up the phone and saying, hey, good morning. I'm from Nyghtstorm Radio. I'd love to be could you please be on my show? Some people find that really, really difficult, particularly if you're an introvert. So that's one of the key benefits, is to be able to overcome those obstacles and to look to see how you can improve your business by doing step-by-step increments, and that you can actually see improvement each way in the step along the way.
Well, I could definitely understand that from an introvert standpoint, because I am one, and I have this huge, take up the whole room when I walk in the door, extrovert sitting next to me.
Oh, come on, my queen.
Who has to coach me and be like, okay, you need to do this, you need to do that, because I will go and sit and just watch everybody else. So I definitely understand where you're coming from with that.
Okay, and one thing I heard what Johanna just said, basically, ma'am, you're helping folks to focus on their target markets and how to create opportunities that they may not have seen to be able to grow their sales, which in turn grows their business. Because a lot of folks, like how we did when we first started out, we didn't know what our target market was. Exactly. We didn't know how we were going to make the money in the first place. We had a dream, we had desire, we had ambition, but we did not have a focused target market. So how important is that, ma'am, when helping folks find the perfect target market to increase their sales? And you discover that in the first place yourself?
Very good question. So first of all, about finding exactly who your target market is, there's a couple of benefits. Especially because of the amount of money that you might be spending to advertise and market to people who are not interested in your product and service. So, for example, if you decided that your marketing campaign is $10,000, for example, and you're not reaching anyone, then obviously your messaging is incorrect and you're not reaching the right people. So that's one of the biggest things about finding your target market. You can, once you understand who they are, where they shop, what do they like to eat, or whatever it is particular, you can actually start to talk to them in their language. And you can actually discuss their problems, and by being able to discuss their problems, you can provide them the best solution for their needs, and in turn will increase your sales. So that's one of the biggest areas. And
So what made you do it for yourself though? When you guys went into business, okay,
yep.
And just like everybody else, all the other noobs out there, you had ambition, you had a dream, and like Toby said, hindsight is 20/20. You've been in this game a long time. Now you know the importance of reaching your target market to increase the sales, and the sales make cash for your business, which is the fuel for your business, so you don't run out of business. But what happened to you, ma'am, that opened your eyes and said, hey, maybe I'm doing this wrong and I really need to focus on people that I know need my services?
Well, that's really true. Probably like most business owners like yourself, I was just trying to be the be-all and to everyone and all, the be-all and end-all, and which didn't work. And then when I decided that, hey, there was a group of people out there, which in my particular case, when I first started my business, I did it with a small engineering company. There was no one in the market. There was no one there. So what I did is I started looking at where do they hang out. I started going to some of their meetings and starting to understand their language in itself. So that's how I try to branch out and decide which area are out there. So my best advice to anybody that's out there and thinking, oh my God, everybody wants my product. But I think what you best to do is just to break that into step-by-step things. Who is out there as your competition? Is there any competition out there? And if there is, are they providing the right solutions for your clients or potential people that were out there? So that would be my step-by-step that I did. And it turned out to be really quite successful. I went from the first year of not having any sales to almost $325,000 by changing my whole process of how I thought about reaching out to my target market. And, you know, it's a lot of it has to do with really sitting time and spending time on thinking it through and working on your business as opposed to in your business. So
wow,
which is kind of a buzzword in itself. So basically working on your business is looking at who are your key clients, who do you want to serve, how do they want to be approached, and what is the best sales ways to approach them. And if you don't take, what I found is if I didn't take that and I just I decided I'm going to go after everyone, I wasn't making any sales.
Okay. And that's very good. And I've heard that before, to work on your business instead of in your business, because that's how you are able to make your business grow. So that is very key. And a lot of people don't know the difference about that. What exactly is the difference, just in 60 seconds?
The difference is when you're working on your business, you're looking at your numbers, you're looking how you can improve your sales, what kind of things you can do to your goals and your dreams for your business. When you're working in your business, that's when you're actually spending all your time on working on your clients' needs and working on generating sales and making your company just basically survive on a day-to-day basis, and you're not using any insight or foresight about how you want to move ahead.
And thank you. That was a great 60-second breakdown. And on that, we are going to break.
Yes, that was incredible.
And when we come back from our break, we're going to talk to Johanna more about how you get into these pros and the cons and what you need to do if you definitely just decide, you know what, backs to the wall, I'm going for it.
Especially if you're an introvert.
Exactly. We'll be right back. Love 860 WAEC, Nyghtstorm Radio. Join us. We got more good nuggets for you.
To all event planners, are you worried that your next corporate get-together is going to be boring?
Then invite the Nyghtstorms to speak at your next event and electrify your organization as we break down how to grow your business, fix broken relationships, and conquer life challenges.
So make your next event epic. Invite me and the Queen to rock the house with inspirational techniques designed to empower individuals and maximize their true potential.
And thanks for listening to Nyghtstorm Radio on Love 860 AM WAEC, Atlanta's inspirational station.
We are you.
This is Toby George Nyghtstorm, a.k.a. Lady Nyghtstorm, and I'm known as the woman not afraid to tell the truth about how things really are. And the truth I have to say to you is you should listen to Nyghtstorm Radio every Thursday from 11 to noon. And you should also like us on Facebook at Nyghtstorm Radio. Follow us on Twitter at Nyghtstorm Radio. And join the Nyghtstorm Nation mailing list on Nyghtstorm.com. That's NYGHTSTORM.com. Nyghtstorm Radio on Love 860 AM WAEC, Atlanta's inspirational talk radio station. We are you.
This is YG Nyghtstorms, And why should you listen to Nyghtstorm Radio? Because we relate to you or someone you know with topics taken directly from our lives. Every time you tune in, you'll hear a discussion about real subjects that affect real life. Why? Because me and the Queen have been there. So join us right here every Thursday morning from 11 to noon on Love 860 AM WAEC, Atlanta's inspirational talk radio station. Nyghtstorm Radio. We are you.
Hello, Nyghtstorm Nation. This is Toby George Nyghtstorm, a.k.a. Lady Nyghtstorm, and I have a question for you. How much are you spending each day on lunch? $6, $7, $10 even? Do you know that for less than what you spend each week on lunch, you can advertise your business or service right here during the show on Nyghtstorm Radio? Why don't you inbox us on Facebook, send us a message on Twitter, or drop us a line at nyghtstorm.com. Let us show you how you can get your business or service out in front of the people. Now back to the show.
Welcome back to Nyghtstorm Radio. We are speaking with Johanna Roach, sales coach extraordinaire, about the pros and cons of being your own boss and what it takes to finally achieve success. So let's get back to this. Now, Johanna, we got a pop-up letter from Nyghtstorm Nation, and they want to say something. Are you ready to hear this letter, ma'am?
Absolutely.
Okay, it says, Dear Nyghtstorms, I have been a business owner for over a decade, and I must admit that it can be a scary experience. I have failed at several things and learned painful lessons the hard way, but I am encouraged by you guys and Johanna because we went from having 0 clients in 2012 to 5,000 clients by targeting the people that needed us as opposed to the people we wanted. There is a difference, and we are reaping the rewards of focused planning, targeting, and selling. Thank you, guys, and God bless. Okay, that's a good letter. Mm-hmm. Okay,
very nice.
And there is a difference because a lot of folks, like we were saying earlier, when you start this business stuff, you want to be everything to everybody, and you want to be, you want to serve everybody. But when you have a focused approach and you target the people that actually need your services, and you ain't going to find these people by just sitting there. You got to find them.
Exactly.
You got to find them. So I want to ask you this. Because it goes back to this letter and to our couples letter. So can you explain what are the signs or traits of being an introvert, and how can a new business owner leverage these traits for their own new investments and maybe have a little more success?
Absolutely. So a sign of an introvert, because I'm an introvert, are a couple of things. Mm-hmm. We're the type of people that when we go to a networking room, we sit in the back corner and we sit and we listen. Mm-hmm. We're not the ones that are engaging, saying, "Oh, hi, how are you? Where's the next drink? How can I help you?" And we're not the ones that when we go to a networking event and say, "Hi, my name is Johanna. I'm a sales coach. Well, now what do you do?" Mm-hmm. Exactly. We're not. That's not our. That's not a sign of an introvert. An introvert is really an introversion person that gets their energy from staying behind and watching the room. And one of the key things about being an introvert is we love to research. Mm-hmm. We like to find out everything before we go and talk to an individual. So this is really a key, good bonus thing to have when you're looking to find your target market, because we're the type that will want to research everything about that client. So, for example, if you wanted to approach, let's say you want to have a record deal with Sony, for example, mm-hmm. and you want to know who exactly is in Sony that I want to need to reach out to. Where the introverts are going to go and research everything they know about Sony. They're going to know about how much profit they made, where's the latest trend in music, who is the latest music producer, who is the latest styles that are going to use, and find out who is that salesperson that I need to speak to, and find out exactly about them. So, for example, do they themselves like let's say reggae or whatever it is. And then when we go to approach them, we already have topics of conversation that we can talk to them that starts that initial conversation instead of saying, "Hi, my name is Jerry, and I have a new CD on reggae about Caribbean dance music." So as an introvert, we can go to them and say, "Hi, Jerry. Look, I really understand that you love, let's say, fried chicken and peas and rice, for example." And we can start that conversation about them. Yes, I know.
Oh, my God, Joe, why'd you oh, my God, man. Now, hungry was the Queen already been getting on me about me eating Waffle House, okay? And we did eat some Waffle House this morning, and I'm supposed to be on this diet.
Back on topic.
And now you talking about some fried chicken. Oh, my God. But, okay, back to introverted business owning. Okay, go back. Go. I'm sorry.
So anyway, so that's one of the key things. We like to research, so we know exactly how to do this. We are also the ones that when we have to go do a sales presentation in a group of 3 or 4 people, we excel because we already know the people in the room. We feel comfortable on a smaller scale level, as opposed to people that are in an extrovert position. They although they look like they're really comfortable when they're big and brash and sort of loud, I guess that would be the other way perspective of saying it. They don't necessarily have the confidence because they can go in the room and they just sort of think they already know everybody in the room, but they don't. They're not as prepared. So that's one of the real key things as an introvert that we can really leverage. We're also really good, like I said, at making one-on-one contacts for individuals. So starting that process and instead of going from, like I said, as a networking room where there's 150 people all passing out business cards and nothing's really going anywhere, we are the ones that can actually pick out key people in the room that we want to talk to start a sales conversation from the beginning. So we are much slower paced, but we can also leverage that to our own advantage to help start the sales conversation and increase those sales. Because we're not in the room and saying, "Hey, Jim, I've got my 2014 Lexus, and I know that you want it."
Oh, my God.
I don't know. I'm just using off the top examples. It's not what I want. But
there are some people that actually do that, though. There are some people.
It's very true. So that, as being an introvert, is a really good trait that we can use in the process. And we also listen, which is a key skill in the sales process itself. We actually listen exactly what the other person is saying, and we have the capacity to memorize that and use that in future conversations with individuals. And when we're asking them key questions about exactly what they need, we're listening to what they have to say, not what we think we want them to say.
Well said.
Exactly.
Well said.
Now, going back to this letter, because we always like to, have our guests comment on the letter that was made that's going on between this husband and wife. Wife is like, "Come on, let's do it. We're not going to get anywhere working for other people." And the husband's like, "Whatever. You just want to spend all the money, and then we're going to end up with nothing. And we're sitting here, and you got another crazy idea, and there ain't no guarantee it's going to work." What's your way in on that, Johanna?
Yeah.
So my way in on this is marriage is really a compromise, if you want to talk about. And one of the things I would do or suggest is I would establish a budget, first of all, and say I have, let's say to start my idea, I want to invest $5,000. And I give myself a period of time of how long I want to be able to run with it and how much time and resources that you want to do with that particular money. So then they're coming into the situation on an agreement on both sides. So both the husband and the wife know, okay, I'm going to spend that $5,000. I want to achieve this, this, and this. And if it doesn't, just think of it as this. This is considered that is instead of going to college for a semester, or in Canada it's a semester, or in the U.S. for a semester, as a part of your education. Those things that you're going to learn within that period of time of running that short period of time are invaluable, and you're never going to get that in the workplace. And then if you have to go back to the workplace because it's not working, these are valuable tools that no one in the other part of your workplace can offer, and you can use and leverage that for your salary and how to better yourself and getting a better position in a company.
Wow, that's a great pitch.
Exactly.
That's a great way to look at it.
So that way, both sides feel safe. At least she's getting what she wants, because if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. So he ain't going to hear the end of it. And then, he's also is able to hold on to his security of he's not going all in at, like at the poker table, all or nothing.
Yeah.
He's putting in just a little bit to see.
Just to see.
Just enough to pacify her. And at least he can say, look, we tried it. As you can see, with this, it's not going to go. Let's hold on to the rest of it over here and keep doing what we're doing. But I at least give it a shot.
But it's also an investment because it's more experience that she has and more education that she has that she can use to go back to the traditional job if she had to, which will bring some increase. So it's a win-win situation. That's a beautiful compromise. So, ma'am, how can folks get in contact with you real quick? Because that's some good stuff.
Thank you. There's a couple of ways. You can visit my website at www.decisionpoint.ca. Or they can call me at 613-762-8641. Or you can follow me on Twitter at Johanna_K_Bridge.
Okay.
All right. Good stuff, folks. Good stuff. Now, we've been talking about some things that was difficult in one particular household, but it's hurtful things going on in all kind of households around the country and the world. But there's one word that can ascend an ocean of despair. And that one word is, sweetheart, love. And we have reached the love shout-out portions of our show where Nyghtstorm Nation gets to send their love to their special sweetie pies over the air. So what we got going first, baby?
We have Cassandra, and she sends her love to Marlon as they celebrate their 3rd wedding anniversary this weekend.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah, good stuff. And Jason says that his wife, Lenya, hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, is the most spectacular woman in the world as they celebrate their 1st anniversary.
Ah, cool. Johanna, is there anyone that you would like to send a love shout out to today?
I'd love to set up my sweetie of almost 35 years, Ron.
Wow. She got us beat. That's all right, though. I want to shout.
Compromise, girl.
Well, my sweetie of 15 years. Sitting over here, Mr. YG Nightstorm.
Yeah.
I love you. Thank you for being the head of the ship. Sink or swim, crash into a rock.
Oh, my God.
Come back up. Fly like the Phoenix.
Oh, my
Whatever
God.
we gonna do, baby. I'm right there with you.
The Phoenix has to to die first before it comes
now
back.
I want to think about that. I'm talking about like just the burn
My
out
leadership
and get back
must
up.
suck, man. But hey, thank you, sweetheart, for breaking that down and actually being the emphasis on us starting our businesses, for being the spirit, for being the energy, for having the incredible wherewithal to say, baby, let's go after it. We can do this. And I appreciate you for being the love of my life. And I promise not to let the ship sink. So we got to die before we rise back up like a phoenix.
Well, you know what? And it's one thing that that's on my mind. I did not say that. I want to make sure I say, if there's a business that you are interested in, I think the one thing you should do that we have learned, go find people that's already doing it.
Yeah.
Get some advice from people that have already burnt the bridges, knocked over the wheel, sunk the ship, got it back up, and you know, try to get some nuggets from someone to be like a coach or a mentor. Not somebody you want to necessarily take their ideas. You want to do it your own way, but at least get some leadership and guidance through the darkness.
And once they get it together, call Johanna.
Exactly.
So she can help you get some sales and some fuel for your business, because cash is the fuel for your business. And if you run out of cash, there is no business.
Exactly. You just have a dream.
You got a dream.
If you don't have the sales, you just got a dream. I like that. All right. So we always end the show with our Nyghtstorm Nation pledge.
Well, you forgot to thank the Nyghtstorm Nation.
You know, I sure did.
You forgot to thank
because we wouldn't even be here. We'll be talking to ourselves, and I do that with you all day. I don't need a microphone.
You even talk to yourself when I ain't around sometimes.
You know what? I tell you the truth.
Nyghtstorm Nation,
thank you so very much for listening to us and this lovely man of mine every Thursday from 11 to noon.
She used that term lovely and loosely.
Johanna, thank you so much for being a guest on the show. As you can see, I've gotten real good at ignoring him and just keep doing what I do.
Yes. That's why we stay married so long. She just know how to ignore me.
Thank you to our husband and wife that wrote our letter in today, and we appreciate and we hope that we were a help to you. And now, our pledge is
stepping out of darkness and into the light. We are here together as combined individuals to bring about change in this world.
Regardless of our inadequacies or the mistakes that lie in our past, we make the difference of success over failure with our families, our businesses, and our communities.
Well, I love me and I love you, and we will change this world, baby.
We are Nyghtstorm Nation, and we are you.
Thank you, Johanna. She ain't killed me yet. Have a great week.
We're going off air now.